Hello, callers. Welcome back to Viva Barca and welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Sergiño Dest as Barca to give the 22-year-old outcast a chance in pre-season as the player wants to stay despite exit rumors. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Then, secondly, talking about this report claiming that Barca begin their preseason training today with 26 players under Xavi's command. We are also going to be discussing on that. So, guys, as we get right into the stories in much detail, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Barcelona's pursuit of a new right back led them to the doors of Ivan Fresneda. The Real Valladolid starlet is a promising talent at just 18 years of age and is being looked at as the ideal candidate to complete the defensive line in the long term on low cost. However, the economic situation does not permit them the liberty to sign him as it stands. With Barcelona struggling with player sales, there is not enough room to accommodate more new players. After all, it is the same reason that has halted Vitor Roque's arrival until January. With the option of signing a new right back being tricky, the Catalans could turn to the existing squad in the hope of a solution. And according to reports from Sport, Sergiño Dest could be the solution Xavi and Barcelona are looking for. It is no secret that the Spanish tactician does not hold Dest in very high regard, for he pushed strongly for the defender's exit last summer. A return to Barca appeared next to be impossible for Sergiño Dest after a very disappointing season on loan at AC Milan, but the doors might open one final time for him. According to the report, Sergiño Dest has already joined the team for pre-season training and has a lot to prove after a largely unconvincing loan spell at AC Milan. Given that the club have limited offers on the table for him, he will have a shot to prove his worth in the upcoming pre-season campaign. Both the club administration and management believe that the young star has something special to offer in the final third. His attacking quality has never been in doubt. However, his consistency and tactical understanding have been weak points, and the coming weeks will be critical in re-evaluating the same. Sergiño Dest is determined to turn around his situation under Xavi Hernandez and wants to stay at the club as long as he gets minutes. And the 22-year-old should be optimistic about his chances given that the club's pre-season games are in his home nation. Of course, Sergiño Dest have been talked about quite a lot of times this summer as one of the players that Barca want to sell. And I think that when we look critically at the fact that Dest have had a poor season last time out playing for Serie A giants AC Milan, there is no reason why Barca should ever retain Dest to become our right back. Of course, Dest was bought in 2020 when Ronald Koeman was in charge of the club, and even though he never had the worst of seasons in that first season at Barca, but of course, when Xavi came in, he did not see something that he wanted from a right back, and Xavi was forced to push him out of the club, and Barca had to loan him out. And as if it wasn't good enough, the player made things even worse. Going to AC Milan, Dest did nothing special, and even though Barca are looking for a right back as things stand, I don't think there's anybody out there who want Barca to give Dest a chance to become our new right back again next season. It's going to be a very tricky decision. But nonetheless, however, given that Barca have started pre-season training today, they are saying that Xavi will take his time to still re-evaluate the players' performances when the pre-season games will start later this month in the US to see how far Dest have gone and if he can actually be a backup or can even try to play the right back at some point next season. So the player right now, knowing fully well about this, of course, you would expect Dest to put up his best performance in his life just to ensure that Javi can be a little bit convinced that the player can deliver at the right back position next season. Talking about the right back position, we have been talking quite a good number of times about Ivan Fresneda, who remains Barca's top choice at right back. Just 18 years of age, Barca have seen a lot of quality in this young man, and of course, he's a player for the future. But Barca are still to make any formal offer, owing to the financial issues that the club is currently suffering, and they have not made any concrete proposals as of yet, which is a disturbing factor. But nonetheless, Fresneda is reported to be waiting for Barca to make it before he can decide his final destination. Which, of course, despite the fact that Arsenal are interested and some other top clubs are showing interest in Ivan Fresneda, reports are saying that he is waiting but for Barca to make a move. He wants to stay in his home country, Spain, and play for one of the biggest clubs that have ever existed, Barcelona. Then moving on to the next story of discussion. Barcelona started their pre-season camp today at the club's training facilities led by manager Xavi Hernandez. As many as 26 players are taking part in the first pre-season session ahead of the 2023-24 season, according to Mundo Deportivo. It has just been over a month since Barca brought the curtains down on a successful campaign, finishing as La Liga and Spanish top owners, and now they are kicking off preparations as they look to get into shape for the defense of the La Liga title while hoping to better their recent performances in Europe. The first day of the preseason started off with medical and fitness tests of all the 26 players involved, of which there are 3 stars who have returned from their loan spells, while a dozen have been called up from the youth and reserved ranks. The 3 players who were back from their loan spells and are part of the opening day of the preseason today are Clement Lenglet, Sergiño Dest, and Nico Gonzalez, all of whom are likely to leave the club before the season kicks off or even before the US tour later this month. As for the first team members that have shown up to the first day of the new preseason, they are Ronald Araujo, Pedri, Marcos Alonso, Pablo Torre, Inaki Piena, Rafinha, Sergio Roberto, Ferran Torres, Bade, Garcia, and new signing Inigo Martinez. Another summer arrival, Ilkay Gundogan, is expected to join the team only on July 18. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.